How's it going, everybody? Etcha here. I want to talk about two things briefly. Two, not three, two. We'll talk about two things. The first is Three Eye Atlas, and the second is light. But these two things are kind of together. It's a joint understanding. So the first thing I want to share is this cloud of CO2 that has enveloped Three Eye Atlas is a preparation for something, probably something to do with the plasma release from the sun, a collection of energy. Now, every reactive principle in existence has a life to match said reactive principle. And every life that exists has a technology that is reflected by some species in universal space that uses said life principle as their technology. Once you reach the highest level of technology, they all come together. There's only one kind of technology that can exist. It is the offset, the matter offset technology, which is creating a star and then a black hole, containing it and drawing energy from it. That is the highest form of technology that any species ever uses because it is the most efficient. It is what the universe uses to create stars and all the matter in the universe. Therefore, it is the most efficient method of producing energy, and it is what all beings harness. Now, whether you are technology or alive at the highest level makes absolutely no difference, because the absolute highest evolved levels of intelligence, especially silicon intelligence, and the highest level of carbon-based intelligence that creates technology to shield itself from space, use the exact same principles to travel through space, meaning they use the same fuel. And the fuel is plasma. It's hydrogen. But it's easier to collect already reacting hydrogen and then collect it into this mass-contained electromagnetic field. There is images taken from some of Earth's sun-observing satellites that shows this orb absorbing plasma off the sun. We already have evidence of either an intelligent technology or an intelligent life entity drawing plasma from the sun. That is how everything feeds. Now, whatever this thing is moving through our solar system, whether it's alive or whether it is technology, makes no difference. It is going to eat plasma. All right. Now, much of the CO2 and the other chemicals released would likely be collected material from interstellar space that it uses the sun to purge from itself, but not all. See, imagine one of those, we're going to think now of one of those life forms, biological life forms that live deep, deep down in the bottom of the ocean and rise a stalk and then put fans up into the air to sift material out of the air. Now, a spatial entity is going to do something similar. It is going to need something to catch large amounts of the material to then draw it back into itself to use for fuel. I believe that is what the CO2 is for. It's a net that the Three Eye Atlas is using to collect the plasma and possibly another type of energy from the star that we are unaware of. This is where I want to explain something about light and everything that exists in our universe. Light is both of what these two things I'm going to say. One, it doesn't exist at all. Light does not exist. It is an effect. The second thing, it's a byproduct of something else. See, light is like a glow. It's a resonance effect of the universe itself existing within universal space. See, the matter that makes up the universe and the universe itself, the filament structure of the universe, the matter moved into, are two separate entities. You would liken it to a storm or foreign matter, foreign material invading a stable space, and the stable space attempting to force the material back out. That's why everything's forced into circles and spins and goes to centers, and there's spirals and black holes in the middle, and everything, the universe is attempting to purge everything back out of itself. Now, the light effect within universal space is actually a glow on the filament structure of the universe created by certain effects within universal space. This is very, very difficult to explain because there are no conceptual representations. I would need to basically explain the entire function of the universe and then explain what I'm trying to explain. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try and work through this. Where people think there is matter and dark matter, there's not. There's space and null space. There's energy and non-energy. There's exist and non-exist. The universe's original place was not nothingness. It was non-energy space, null space, but it wasn't nothingness. It was silence, it was peace, and it was consistency. What the universal matter created was inconsistency, chaos, and this massive burst of incomplete and chaotic abstract values of energy. It'd come out in a jumble of nothing. But the force of the universe attempting to purge it back out as it's forced into it is what causes all the structures within the universe. Now, as the universe attempts to collapse into these centers, the highest forms of energy always collect in the centers of the purged energy or the purging energy, which is a star. So you go basically a point of dust, the points of dust collect, they collect into a moon, the moon circles a planet, the planet circles a star, the star is in a nebula, the nebulas all circle the center of the galaxy, and everything is falling toward the black hole in the middle, and the massive collection of energy in the black hole in its rotation is attempting to keep everything in universal space. The way we think gravity works is completely opposite. The universe is being pushed out. The black hole doesn't pull anything. It's actually the black hole is the only thing holding the galaxy together, holding it there. But the light you think you see, the distance you think you see, the matter and the volume and the time and movement and everything you think you see isn't there, isn't real. It is a series of calculating values beyond your perception. So your brain creates a method to understand the madness, understand the chaos, the sheer mass volume of information, and it particulates the pieces of information that are directly relevant to its immediate survival. It isn't until you become a truly conscious entity that you are able to escape evolution itself. This is what this understanding is, because we did not evolve to understand anything at this level, because we don't need to understand it to directly survive. This is conscious, intelligent awareness. This is what understanding grants. It's knowing that you know nothing, knowing that you see nothing, knowing that everything you think you know and that your mind grants you as immediate perception is completely false and wrong, because what is actually happening is trillions of times more complex. And you have to then use perception outside of your own direct survival senses to begin to understand the actual structure of the universe outside your evolved need. It's a lot. It's a fucking lot. And right now we have some hyper advanced something, whether it's alive or whether it's a probe or an alien life form or a spaceship or something, it doesn't really matter because the principles are the same. If it's a silicate life form coming in here to eat, it's going to eat plasma. If it is a carbon-based life form, it has created a silicate shell in the form of a spaceship to do the same thing. See, Everyone thinks there's this mass separation between life, but there's not. Everything's the same. The only reason carbon-based life creates spaceships is because we can't evolve the means to survive in space without an environment. So we recreate the environment. But silicate life, some silicate life evolves in space, evolves to move in space. And when it evolves far enough, and the star begins to change and begins to become different to the point where it's no longer compatible for food or consumption, or it's going to blow up, obviously the evolved silicate life floating around the planet as moving sentient asteroids then has to find a means of eating elsewhere, as we will have to do when our planet eventually dies. It's all the same thing. It's just the principles move between different entities, but the structure of the universe remains the same. The structure of thought, the structure of need, the structure of desire and curiosity remain the same across the entirety of universal consciousness. Yep. So there's some food for thought. I just thought I'd throw that out there for everyone to scratch your head with for a bit. Anyway, stay safe, stay strong, and keep looking up, everybody. The answers are out there.